Hey everybody, and of course, welcome back to another episode of Kinfolk and Them. Unfortunately, we don't have all five of our kinfolk with us tonight, but we do have my boy G Boogie and Napoleon in the mix. I don't know about you guys, but I feel a little bit like Napoleon. I was bouncing up and down a little bit earlier today. Greg got my blood flowing. I was out here listening to a little bit of Houston music. I was out here listening to Mr. 25-8. I had to put it down on my Twitter. My boy G Boogie out here, with the back door, had to make sure everybody know about the H-Town music. Mm-hmm. So after that happened, hey, I was out here. I'm ready to get on the show. So now we here, we live, we ready to get right into it. But before we do that, I just want to see how my family doing. So my family from out in Philadelphia, my family out in Humble, how y'all doing today?
Don't tell where I'm
You don't know where. Hey, I don't know where both. The world don't know where both y'all at. So it could have been the opposite. Who knows?
This is true. I don't like that shit.
Hey, Humble's a big place. Nobody know where you at, Greg. You can stay hidden. You can stay hidden.
Ain't nobody looking for your ass.
Ain't nobody looking for your ass at all.
Depends on who you asking.
All right, GT, what you got for us? How your week been?
It's been good. Can't complain too much. You know what I'm saying? Another week of working from home, trying to not sleep on the job. You know what I'm saying? You know how that go. So
No, I don't know how that go.
But I'm good though, bro.
Now, what you do? What you got over there? You making some new music?
Yeah, man, trying to, man. I got to get my motherfucking machine back up and running. Once I'm going, we can, get the tunes back popping because I'm kind of make this Kinfolk jingle.
Yes, sir. Jingle will be out soon. And speaking of new things popping in and out of buildings, of course, we have an inauguration day today, and we have a new president. Number 46, Joe Biden, has been sworn in officially as our new United States president. No matter if you like it or you don't, at the end of the day, you just got to deal with it, no matter which side you are on. And with that being said, moving forward, because at the end of the day, we're not going backwards, no matter if it's 2016 or 1866. So with that being said, starting in 2021, what are we most looking forward to with this new president? And I'll start off with you, Napoleon. What are we looking most forward to? And I'm not even speaking upon the rhetoric that President Trump threw out. I'm just speaking on your personal, your personal opinions on how do you feel about what's going to be going on moving forward.
Right. I mean, honestly, I'm not sure if Biden, Kamala Harris, and their administration are going to come in and really make a difference. I'm not sure if they really can or will be allowed to make a difference. However, old Joe says he has things he wants to come in and change immediately as far as what Trump has done with his administration. The one thing I'm looking forward to is he going to stick to his word and do all of that, and what is going to be the results from that? Because some of those things, I'm not about to necessarily pinpoint each one, may not be as conducive to necessarily say, let's go ahead and change this just because it was some shit that you think Trump fucked up. Let's, again, like you said, see what's there, take it. Okay, we need to make it better, move forward. You know what I'm saying? I can understand doing something like that, but we'll see. And we really got to look at the state of the social aura of the people of America. As a president, you need to do something, or you need to stand firm on like how you're going to handle that. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
My bad. I didn't mean to burp. I meant to mute that. My apologies. My apologies. I meant to mute that. My apologies on that one.
Nah, you didn't mean to do shit, nigga.
Go, Greg. My apologies.
Nasty motherfucker. Anyways, honestly, man, I only want to echo some of the points Napoleon came up with, man. Just seeing where it goes. I know one thing's for sure: the bar is fucking low as shit.
I mean, I'll say this, Greg. Is it though? Because depending on who you ask, there's a lot of people out there that feel like Trump did an excellent job, didn't do anything wrong, best president ever. There's a lot of people out there that feel that way.
Economically, I mean, during his presidency, if you want to go off his presidency, look at the numbers. Economically, things are good, but there's other, elements to being a president. Economically, socially, politically. If you're only focusing on one thing, what are you really doing good? You know what I mean?
Well, I 100% understand where you're coming from, Greg. But there's a lot of people out there that feel like, who cares that he is a mean person? Who cares that he disrespect people? He goes in there and he does a business like job and helps America become economical power once again. And a lot of people feel like he was able to do that, no matter if he was pretty much an asshole about it. So again, what would you say for people that feel that way?
Suck my dick. I mean, what else? What else?
Alrighty then.
That's pretty much all I gotta say about that. But back to Biden, the bar is to the floor. We'll see what happens. But history was made today. I mean, we can't run away from that.
Now, I'm happy that you brought that up, and I'll just reiterate what Greg is speaking about. Of course, this is the first woman vice president ever, and I'm happy that you brought that up, Greg, because I was at work, so I saw from the outside looking in a lot of social media posts and whatnot, and for everything that was going on, you would think women would be, no matter what color you are, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, you would think that you would be happy that a woman is vice president, correct? Isn't that progression? Isn't that progression? Isn't that something that women would want to do, is be able to be in charge in certain high-end positions? So isn't this something that a woman, no matter what color you are, isn't this a great day for women? But it doesn't seem like that. It seems like I've seen a lot of women that don't care for her being in that position. I don't know if it's a color thing. I don't know if it's because she's a Democrat. But one thing I do know is, if the tables were turned and this was Ivanka Trump as a Republican as a vice president, would she be still getting the same type of hate and discredit for that Kamala Harris is getting? Because the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've never heard of this, but I've seen people post that Kamala Harris slept her way to vice president. Apparently, she's a prostitute now. That's the rhetoric that I'm hearing, that I'm seeing on social media. So for the people that are spreading that narrative out there, Napoleon, we'll go to you. How do you feel about the narrative that's going out there with she, quote unquote, slept her way to the top?
I mean, honestly, I really haven't been around social media to see that description and to see people personally call her that. But if that's what's happening in the trend, that's what people are saying. I think it's probably just, to me, it's just another reason to negatively reflect on the person who's leading the country. It's just another reason to try to cast a negative light on, the people that they don't want there. It's rumors. Probably nobody has any factual evidence. Nobody has anything that's going to prove her, that she actually did that and the third. If they do, hey, bring it to the forefront. But if you don't, shut the fuck up, because you just sound like an ignorant son of a bitch.
Well, and we can also say that there's a lot of male fragile ego, that is a frail ego that is out here, because again, it seems like a lot of people for some reason feel like this is the worst day in America. Unfortunately, people's guns are going to get taken away now because Joe Biden is president. Freedom of speech is gone now. A lot of these crazy narratives that a certain side like to throw out there and say, oh no, the United States is doomed now because Joe Biden and the Democrats are in charge. So, Greg, how do you feel about, again, the narrative that is spit out there with what's going on today?
I'm just going to make this short and sweet. Like a wise man once told me, a lie spreads faster than the truth.
Sound like you heard that from me, sir.
No, you're not that old, or you're not wise. You're not wise. You're not wise yet.
We throwing shots today, sir. I got 3 gray hairs, sir. You better respect. Respect these gray hairs, sir.
That doesn't mean shit. But anyway, yeah. That's what I heard from a wise man. So that's pretty much what it is. We've been seeing that even in the Obama administration. Lies spread very, very quickly. And when the truth comes out, you get silence.
No one cares, right?
No, silence.
All right, so
Well, let's not act like y'all wasn't protesting Obama's presidency in fucking high school, coming to school trying to black that shit out. I remember seeing you motherfuckers. I remember that shit.
Napoleon's talking about 2008 at Langham Creek High School. Go ahead and put some facts on that, sir.
You know who you are.
They probably the same ones that voted for Trump, but that's another story for another day. Let's go ahead and have a live look in on Napoleon at Inauguration Day.
Facts.
And as y'all see, that is Napoleon. That is Napoleon before the election, and that's Napoleon after the election, and also in 2024, and also in 2028. Because
you don't give a shit.
If y'all are smart individuals out there, y'all should know the government is not going to save you. No. I work for the government. Napoleon's worked for the government. And if you feel like the government is going to come out here and save y'all, all right, y'all can keep on. Y'all can go ahead and keep on wishing. But with that being said, before we move on to our next topic, the last thing I want to bring up is the student loan situation. Do we feel like Joe Biden will at least get rid of...
You broke up, big dog. You broke up.
My bad. I apologize. I apologize. With Joe Biden, will he actually get rid of $10,000 worth of student loans per person? Do you feel like that will happen, Greg?
Well, that's nothing. $10,000 is nothing, if we're being honest. So yeah, he should be able to get it done.
I mean, 10,000 is better. I mean, it sounds like it's nothing, but at the end of the day, they don't. He doesn't have to do it. Shout out to Matt with the 10,000.
But $10,000 still ain't shit in the grand scheme.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's better than having to pay 10,000, right? At the end of the day, that's a break that a lot of people need out there, Greg.
It's really a matter of going to do it because it would be great. It's going to be a break because even if you owe 40, if you owe 10, if you owe whatever, it's going to be something off of that. It's going to help you out, you know. But is he going to do it? Is it really going to happen? And I don't know. If it does, it doesn't. I'm still not paying the rest of that shit, so I don't even care.
Alrighty then. With that being said, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. Of course, we do have to, of course, talk a little bit more about President Trump because he was able to do a little something before he got up out of the White House. He was able to pardon almost about 150 people. That includes Lil Wayne and Kodak Black. Apparently, Joe Exotic was not on that list. So with that being said, Greg, what was this pardon all about? Because this wasn't a normal pardon. He was getting out folks that we had to look sideways like, why is he doing this? So what is all of this about in the grand scheme of things, Greg?
I really don't know, to be quite honest with you. I know one thing I do want to tackle on is that Lil Wayne obviously was kissing Trump's ass for a reason. Trump, he came out of being, Team Trump and all that shit. But honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. If you want to go back into the past, we touched on the show, Trump is, connected to the hip hop community in some way back in the earlier days. I still think he's somewhat connected. He probably won't go publicly with that, but he's somewhat connected in a sense still. So, just trying to make himself look good, even though your ass is out of there anyway. But, just something to make himself look good on paper.
Now, what you got for us?
I think probably the same thing. Something to make him look good because, I mean, or just as, you know what I'm saying, I'm on my way out. Let me help out some people that I fuck with. Because if you, like you said, you looking sideways on like, why the fuck is you letting these niggas out of jail? It's not like they're fucking violent criminals or anything like that.
Yeah.
But, niggas out here racketeering and shit, not filing the taxes, all kinds of dumbass, what you call them, white collar crimes. That
pretty much.
All them niggas. That's his homies, might I add. Aside from Kodak and Lil Wayne, unless those are his homies as well, those are his black friends probably. But yeah,
that's his O.J. Simpson and Herschel Walker.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, look at these black friends that I have. I'm not racist. Look at these black friends. I mean, I understand everybody. You gotta have your token from time to time to say that I'm not this, I'm not that, right? That's what it kind of seems like.
Those are the most curious too. That I'm like Wayne and Black Kodak. Black, why are you pardoning them niggas? I'm glad you did. Thank you. I appreciate it. But
wait. The real question is, seriously, we gonna pardon these two, but we ain't gonna pardon Bobby Shmurda? I need some new songs for Bobby Shmurda, y'all.
No, we don't. We don't.
Yes, we do.
I didn't make the rules.
No,
look,
we don't need to be.
There's a lot of niggas. He ain't gonna pardon C murder.
My boy Justin says to attempt to soften the blow after the Capitol riot. That's the reason why he did what he did. I mean, I can understand where you're coming from, Bama, but I don't know on that one.
Blurred line.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you have the power to do what you want to do in a certain way, I think this is one of those situations where, and I don't know if Trump is going to get tried for the crimes he committed, or if he did, or if he didn't, whatever it is. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did this to make sure that the people that he is cool with can come to his side and help him if he is in trouble in the next 2 to 3 years or whatever it is. We can also see that happening. So we'll just have to wait and see with the Trump sagas. I mean, it seemed like one thing after another, but I will say this. It definitely felt like for the last 4 years we were in our own version of The Apprentice. And for the first time, Trump got to hear "you're fired" to his own self. So
nigga should have fired himself year one. God damn.
And it didn't really look good that Pence was at the inauguration and he.
Well, I'll say this. No, I 100% agree. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Do we respect Mike Pence more for that? Or do we still look at him sideways? Because a lot of people felt like, man, we don't want Pence in power. Because if Pence is in power, it's worse than Trump, right? A lot of people felt that way too. So do we look at Mike Pence like, oh, maybe at least he's respectful and he's not an a-hole as much as Trump is? And a lot of people feel like, hey, just because you're the president don't mean that you have to do this, that, and the third. One thing that's very eye-opening to this whole situation about, what's been going on over the last 4, 8, 12 years is that certain people, and I'm talking about Donald Trump, are allowed to get away with not doing what you're supposed to do when you're in a position of power, like the president. When you're a president, you still have to abide by certain presidential things when you are not the president anymore, right? And for you to pretty much just, I'm not doing it anymore, it's just very disrespectful, honestly, because again, if this is what America holds as, and this is the standard of being a president and doing this and doing that, and this individual is not holding those standards, then what are we teaching the generation behind us? What are we teaching these people, the people that look up to the president, saying, hey, this is what presidential standards is about? And you have an individual that pretty much sidesteps all those things, and you have people that are amongst our work group that will say, oh, it's fine because he's doing it his way.
I don't think Trump gives a shit about the next generation trying to be presidents, to be quite honest with you. If he wouldn't do half the shit, not even half, he wouldn't do 90% of the shit he's done if he gave a shit about looking up to him trying to be the president eventually.
Nat, what you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't think that's in his thought process. But I mean, I don't know why. I don't know what's going on in the nigga head, man. Nigga.
So what it sounds like is I'm giving him a little too much credit from you.
Yeah, and then also I want to rebuttal to the Pence question.
Yes, sir.
I just think he's a respectable dickhead. He went from being a dickhead to a respectable dickhead. Not much of a difference, but besides the word respectable, so still a dickhead, but.
He can be nicer than Trump all he want. I still ain't fucking with him.
Alrighty then. Justin also says nothing going to happen because he's an elite with too much dirt on everybody. If anything, they'll Epstein him.
Damn.
So we know what happened to Epstein.
Yes,
Do
sir.
we?
Or don't we? Or don't
we?
The mystery remains. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and get right into football. No mystery remains with the last 4 teams remaining in the NFL. Conference championships will be held this Sunday. AFC Conference Championship game, NFC Conference Championship game. I know you guys are not on my sports plug show that Ish and I host on Sundays and on Tuesdays, our pre-show and our recap show. So I want to hear from you guys and what you guys saw on during the divisional games, and we'll speak a little bit about that. I'll bring that up right quick, and we'll also get into the conference championship game. So we'll spend a little time on the divisional games, and then we'll get into the conference championship game. So the Rams and Packers game, Greg, Knapp, let me hear y'all's thoughts.
Missed that one.
Greg,
I watched the game. Aaron Rodgers is being Aaron Rodgers, man. He played a pretty good game. I was surprised at how good. Maybe it's just me, but it's been a while since I can honestly say the Packers have a pretty good defense.
We haven't said that probably since last time Aaron Rodgers been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so it's been a while. A guy that I've been looking at all season, Jair Alexander. Mm-hmm. Surprisingly, probably like a top 5 cornerback. Doesn't really get mentioned as much. I really like that guy. But yeah, the Packers played a solid game. I know on your sports plug episode, you were kind of giving some respect to the Rams and all that shit like that. Nah, I don't give a shit about the Rams. They're just going to be one of those teams that they're good, but they're just good. They're not exciting. They don't give you that Super Bowl feel. They've been to a Super Bowl, yes, but who gives a shit?
All right. Let's go ahead and get on to the next game. Ravens and Bills. Bills went ahead, took care of the Ravens 17-3. Knapp, I know you didn't watch this one, so Greg, let's go ahead and get right into you on your thoughts and opinions on this one.
I watched the episode when you past episodes, I'll say, about you, Lamar Jackson finally getting a playoff win. He did, just to bounce back and to do this bullshit. I don't know, man. The Ravens offense, they're ass when you really think about it. All that run heavy shit, like that shit is cool in the grand scheme of things, but you got to be more balanced, right?
My boy Justin says the Ravens is a big play wide receiver because Brown is too much of a finesser and a coverage linebacker away from the big show because Queen is a liability.
Yeah. And when Mark Andrews, God bless his soul, good tight end, but man, you need some receivers. So
a lot of people, Raven Nation, that I follow very heavily, a lot of people are kind of disappointed in the offensive coordinator, Ray Roman, with the play calls that he implemented for Lamar in the offense. Very predictable, very elementary. Yes. Nothing deceptive. Nothing that we can put on the field and say, let's go win a game with this. That's what I hear a lot from Raven Nation. I hear what Justin is saying. I agree with him. They do need another wide receiver. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, though. And I will reiterate this again on Kinfolk and them because I know people are tired of me saying this. But until Lamar Jackson does what Josh Allen was able to do this year, and make sure that your accuracy and being able to consistently throw down the field, when that changes for Lamar Jackson and he's able to do that on a consistent basis, then he will become the ultimate threat. Because one more time?
I cut you off.
You're good. Because at the moment, he is a running threat, and we understand that. But once you shut down the running game with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, it has been proven this year, last year, and against the Chargers that is not going to fly trying to win a Super Bowl. You can win regular season games. You can win a playoff game. But to win a Super Bowl, you still have to be a quarterback in the NFL and make sound throws.
Well, I think in that situation, let's just see what the Ravens organization do as far as them getting more weapons. At the end of the day, you're absolutely right about Lamar Jackson. But let's see if he gets some more weapons around him to put more of a radar on what you're saying.
Can I say this? I respect the Ravens organization and saying that they're all in on Lamar Jackson. We're going to do everything we possibly can to make sure he become a better player from day one to the next 5 to 10 years, right? Even if they get him a top-notch wide receiver, even if they put a great defense in front of him, and he still is not able to, again, throw the ball consistently, because this is year 3, guys. He's still throwing balls in the dirt. I watch film. I don't need to look at stats. And soon, and I know we're on a Kinfolk and page, but on the Sports Club, we will be reviewing NFL film real soon. And we will show certain plays that not just Lamar Jackson, but everybody else in the league that will do. But Lamar Jackson in particular, he throws a lot of balls in the dirt. And when you do that, it does not allow your wide receiver to be able to get into a flow. You look at the balls that Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, you see those guys throw balls, literally hit you in between the numbers. You watch Lamar Jackson balls, he's literally throwing them at your knees. As a wide receiver, that's horrible to have to deal with on a game-by-game basis. So, with that being said, I'm not going to spend too much time on this topic. We're going to go ahead and move on to the Browns and Chiefs. This was a lot closer game than people expected. I'm pretty sure Chiefs fans expected to blow the Browns out. I never thought that was going to happen. I knew the Browns would keep it close. But the big story in this game was Patrick Mahomes leaving the game early due to a concussion. And at the moment, we are on a Wednesday, and at the moment, he did return to practice. He did practice today. He should be able to pass concussion protocol by Friday or Saturday to be able to be cleared to play on Sunday. With Patrick Mahomes being out, Greg, do you feel like the Browns choked and did not capitalize on a missed opportunity that they had?
Yes and no. The reason why I say yes, because the big elephant in the room is that Patrick Mahomes was in. I'll say no because Chad Henne made the 1 or 2 throws that he needed to do. Nothing too crazy. Nice little short passes to get the first down. I know that last one, I think it was a Tyreek Hill, if I'm not mistaken, to get the first down to capitalize on the game.
Yes, sir.
And he needed that, to bounce back from that terrible interception. That terrible interception. Chad Henne, you're on the Henne. That's what we said in the fucking group chat. Chad Henne, you're on the Henne. You're fucking
Henne thing is possible.
You're a fucking dickhead for throwing that fucking pass. That made no sense logically. But anyways, so yes and no. At the end of the day, yes, Mahomes has a concussion, but didn't he have like an ankle injury? He was hobbling.
Yes, he has a foot injury that he's still dealing with as well. Honestly, I think that's the least of their concerns right now. As Chiefs fans, they're more worried about making sure that his head is straight to be able to play on Sunday.
Hey, if he got a foot injury, ain't nothing for a big 300, 400-pound nigga to sit on that foot.
I agree. No, I agree.
So he banged up regardless if he passes the concussion protocol. So we'll see.
Yes, Nap, you got anything for this one?
No, really. This was the only game that I watched, and I watched him get knocked out, and that was crazy. I was like, oh my God, I hope he's okay, because it did not look good. But I still didn't see necessarily I rewatched it a couple times, rewind and shit. But I couldn't really tell what impact per se was like. You know what I'm saying? Or if it was just like move how the body was. Like, you can be extra.
The way that it kind of reminded me of, and you're somebody that's in jiu-jitsu, or martial arts, karate, that field. The way it kind of looked like to me and the way that it was described, it was kind of like a choke, right? So the way that he got tackled, it kind of reminds you of somebody getting choked in combatives. They kind of pretty much passed out for a little bit, and that's the reason why you see the limp in his leg when he got back up. He got up and he kind of took a stumble. Right. At first, I thought it was a concussion, but if you actually think about it, if you do get choked out in that way, when you do get up very fast, the blood rushes to your head and you are kind of wobbly. So it does make sense.
He got knocked out when he got up. You like,
and I thought that was a concussion. I thought, hey, he's gonna be out for at least this game. He might be out maybe for next week. But reports are coming in that it was more of a choke, and with it stopping his airway, it kind of messed up again his blood flow to his head. So it makes sense. now that everything is cleared and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he will play. He should play because at the end of the day, it's the $500 million man right there. So he will be playing. All right, Buccaneers and Saints, GOAT versus GOAT. We saw who was the GOATs on Sunday, and we'll call Drew Brees the Billy Goat. And with that being said, Greg, is this the last time we'll see Drew Brees in a uniform? Because there are some reports of Drew Brees might rethink about retiring.
He needs to retire. That game was fucking terrible, man. It just seems like playoff games progress, he just get worse. Maybe that's my eye. I could be wrong. But I just want to talk about this playoff game particularly. 3 interceptions. He just played not a good game, man. He literally lost the game for them from start to finish. He's washed. It is what it is. I think he needs to retire, to be quite honest with you.
Now we saw Phillip Rivers was just retire, and also I know I'm blanking out right now. There's another quarterback that just retired as well.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So another quarterback that just retired. I can't remember off the top of my head, but a lot of people thinking Drew Brees are gonna be right behind him as well. I'll be honest with you. As much as a competitor that Drew Brees is, I don't see him going out like that. And I know it's gonna sound messed up, but I think we could see a running back toward Drew Brees that go to the playoffs and lose, not the exact same way, but lose even more tragic of a way. And I don't think Drew Brees would want that because let's be real. You kind of want to go ahead and just leave on this type of, I know it sounds messed up, but again, just say if you come back to the Saints, you're already there. The Saints are already in the horrible cap situation that they're already in. They're literally last in the cap in the NFL. So you bring Drew Brees back. Let's just say they go 9-7, right? Don't even make the playoffs. That's a lot of fans. I feel like a lot of Saints fans would want to rush Drew Brees out of New Orleans if that happens, instead of being able to ride high off of the 2009 Super Bowl because of Katrina and everything that happened with New Orleans. I feel like Greg is saying, if you're progressively getting worse and worse, you are low-key kind of diminishing your resume on what you've done in the last 15 years.
Uh-huh.
Do you kind of feel like that, guys?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah, and I understand there's several guys or athletes in general still in the league up in age, but I think Drew really has to consider his health and his longevity as far as staying healthy and injuries and gameplay and how to mitigate that with playing throughout the season. Like that's gonna be a major factor. You know what I mean? So.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go ahead and get into AFC, NFC championship game picks. I will save mine for Sunday. Greg, who you got? AFC championship game, Bills versus Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Nap, who you got?
I'm going with the Chiefs.
NFC championship game, Bucks versus Green Bay Packers. Who you got, Greg?
Buccaneers.
Nap.
I need Aaron Rodgers to win.
Alrighty then. Well, you heard it here on Kinfolk and them. We have my boy Super Bowl picks. Hopefully it'll go either way. It's gonna go for one of y'all, but we shall wait and see on Sunday. All right, let's go ahead and get into the next topic. We had this topic a couple weeks ago talking about Clubhouse. Well, now it's time for us to recap on Clubhouse because I'm on it. Unfortunately, our guy Ish is not on today, and because he would be able to talk about his experiences on Clubhouse. Unfortunately, Napoleon cannot get on Clubhouse because it is an iPhone only app. So at the moment, until it comes to Android, Nap will be on later on. So with that being said, Greg already had, of course, his recap about Clubhouse. I'll go ahead and spill mine, and we can go ahead and move on to the next topic because we're not going to spend too much time on this one since Ish isn't here. I'll be honest with you. When I first heard about Clubhouse, I didn't really care too much for it because I thought it was just another silly little app or whatever. But actually diving into it and hearing the conversations and seeing the topics that are in Clubhouse, there are a lot of informational informative and information that is out there for people that want to know more instead of having to hear the BS rhetoric either on Facebook, Twitter, people that think they know what the hell they talking about and putting out BS thinking that, oh, because I've seen it on a meme, I'm going to go ahead and put it on Facebook. The reason why I love Clubhouse is because you get to be around like-minded people that want to talk about whatever it is, from cryptocurrency to sports to relationship talks to finances to whatever it is. You can be able to talk amongst people from all around the world and get as much information that you possibly want and can from this app on an everyday basis. The topics change up. A couple of days ago, they had a topic saying which one's better, Chick-fil-A or Popeyes. That was a great topic. And now right now, earlier today, they talked about the inauguration. They've talked about all these other topics. So if you would like to be a part of Clubhouse and you don't know how to get on, reach out to somebody that might be on Clubhouse, because the only way to get a Clubhouse invite is you have to be invited by somebody that's already on there. Gregory.
No, I'm just saying I was on Clubhouse, so if you want to invite,
let Greg know. Hit Greg up in the DMs to send you a Clubhouse invite. Napoleon, you'll be on shortly, I promise you. But what you saying that?
Said I'll be there when I be there.
Yes, sir. But seriously, especially for somebody like Napoleon, people that are musicians, there are people in there that's connected with the music industry that help people get to where you want to be and stuff like that. I was in a group a couple of days ago with Gary V talking about baseball cards and trying to flip them and whatnot. It's for me, it's low key kind of a great app that fell in my lap thanks to my boy Greg, because it's something that it allows me to hear different people's perspective from all around the world and get their thought process on things, and also teach me new things that I don't know about. So that's why I fuck with it. So it's cool to me. Greg, got anything to say about this before we go on to the next topic?
Another thing I wanted to say that I didn't get to say last week. It's just important to have apps like Clubhouse that provides context to the content, right? Because you might see a tweet on Twitter and you're like, this shit doesn't sound weird, but that same tweet can be, vocalized on Clubhouse, and you're like,
yep.
I understand where you're coming from. Facebook doesn't have that. Instagram, I don't want to watch your story. I'm sorry, no offense to anybody out there. And then you have Twitter and all that shit. The example I just gave. It's just nice to have the context of the content. You know what I mean? So
no, I definitely understand, because just like you're saying, Greg, there's a lot of text things that can get misconstrued, and also through text message. I know we've had plenty of times where we text either a significant other, maybe mom or dad, or friend, whatever it is, and the text get misconstrued because on one side they read it one way, but we put it another on us. I think there's a great Key and Peele episode where they do that, where they text each other and he thinks they're saying one thing, but he's saying another thing. So I agree with you 100%, Greg. That definitely hits the nail on the head. There we go. I wanted to make sure I said it right. Hit the nail on the head. I was going to say hit the nail on the hammer on that one. Had to catch myself. And speaking of catching themselves, we'll go ahead and catch ourselves with creating some generational wealth. And this topic was brought up by my boy Greg Turner, because I know he had something to say about this. So let's go ahead and start it off with you, GT.
Why I got to start with me? Start with Napoleon.
We're going to start off with you, big dog. We're gonna round back. We don't worry. We're going to come back to everybody.
Man, I don't want to start, but
all right, Nap, go ahead, you little crybaby.
Well, we all know creating generational wealth is very important, especially for Black America, because we don't have a lot of it. And in the system that we live in, the economy that we live in, the way this shit is structured, you're going to want to set yourself up for this types of situations. You're going to make sure that you're okay. You're going to want to make sure you got your assets okay. You're going to want to make sure you got land living situations. So when you have kids and shit, they don't have to worry about fucking going nowhere. They can always have home to come back to. They can always have a foundation. If you ain't got no foundation, how can you really go anywhere? You know what I mean? Do anything. And that's really what people need, is a foundation. You need a foundation, and then you build on that, and then that's how you do that. Now, going into the details of creating that shit, you're just gonna have to fucking do the research. We're not about to have a fucking 3-hour seminar on creating generation.
Now we'll have a 3-hour seminar, but y'all ass are gonna have to pay. We're gonna charge that at $20 a head.
We need that. We got Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, all that. We are ready, baby.
Looking ass. All right, I'll go off on my little spill right quick, just adding on to what Napoleon's talking about when it comes to generational wealth. The best, and I wouldn't say the easiest, but the best way to be able to create generational wealth is being able to have land. Correct? We all know if you're able to have land, you're able to build on that land, you're able to cultivate on that land, you're able to do what you want to do on that land to be able to bring that money back into you. Correct? All right. So with that being said, land is one of the best ways to be able to create generational wealth. But we also, as individuals, need to make sure that we also have a business amongst that land as well. Because one thing that I do see, so I do deliver, I work at a delivery service, I'm not going to say which one, and I'm out in Conroe a lot, right? And I see a lot of people that live on the land that they live, and they also will have a shed or a side business on the side that is connected with their home. And I honestly think that's a very smart thing to do, because instead of having to drive 10 miles to your building that you work at, you're literally right there at your office and you're able to work there, and you don't have to, pay taxes to work out of somewhere and all that good stuff. So the money stays with you. So I just feel like a lot of this generational wealth that we speak on, I feel like we are and I know that I say this a lot, is like we try to go and get the bag, right? We are always trying to go out and go get whatever by any means. But I feel like from time to time, if we are able to sit down, build a plan, and go buy it, especially with compounding interest, being able to build on the money that you put in your RIA accounts and all the other things that you're able to do. I think we have to get back into doing small things instead of trying to say, and I'm just speaking on as a black man, instead of trying to figure out how to go and get $1 million because I need to go play football, or go and make money because I need to go and do this, that, and the third. I think I know we can do it. We can do it. We just have to leave that BS glamour lifestyle, thinking that if you're a rapper, all of a sudden you're rich. We know a lot of rappers that don't have money, correct? So
rapping don't necessarily make you rich.
Then that's the thing that I'm getting at, Napoleon. You're 100% correct. So let's go ahead and move forward and understand and realize that there are other ways to obtain wealth. We have friends that are now lawyers now, correct? That we have friends that are in other positions to succeed in life, besides having to do the normal way to go about making money, correct? Or I'm sorry, the dream way of having to go and make money, being a professional, whatever. Mm-hmm. You could be a professional seamstress. If you make $100,000 a year, it doesn't matter why does it matter if you're not in the NFL or MLB or whatever it is? You make $100,000. Make your money, put it in the right places, and watch it grow. Because at the end of the day, all of us we're not in the league, right? So we got to find another way. And that's just how I feel. We have to use the tools that we have in front of us, and we have to apply them every day to hopefully get us to where we want to be. Greg?
I think when you think of generational wealth, it's something that you can leave behind, right? And I know a lot of people thinking, just touch on Napoleon and Xavier's opinions on it. Everybody wants to think big right up front. But at the same time, you got to start small, right? And accumulate and build off that. So the most simplest thing I can think of is life insurance. There's a lot of people in the Black community that don't have life insurance. And these are people that have children that we're talking about. So it's a lot of people that speak on this generational wealth thing, but like, you can be gone tomorrow, and the only thing you're going to leave behind is a GoFundMe link. It doesn't look very good on paper. So that's a simple way to do things. And then also, just to touch base on Clubhouse, there's a couple of rooms on Clubhouse that are on there daily that speak on investing in the stock market, investing money in in ways, you know, even outside the stock market, just other things you can invest your money into. So those are kind of like just the simplest things you can start off. And you don't have to go into like trying to save money to throw into the stock market. You can start off with penny stocks. You don't have to jump out the window to do something so extravagantly big. You can start low, like life insurance. I know Xavier just mentioned IRAs, stuff like that, right? And then penny stocks, you want to work your way up from there, then do that. But don't just, everybody just want to jump out the window and do the biggest thing in order to just get the money fast, when at the end of the day, it's generational wealth. So you want to start low, and then over time it accumulates.
Can I ask another question to my gentleman out here? Shout out to Nate Smith that's out here tuning into the show. That is another one of our Lane Creek alumni that's out here checking out, and he's somebody that looks like he's had a baby and whatnot. Look, I hope Nate is tuning in, so I can ask him: are these the things that we're speaking on, Nate? Are these things that you got taught in your household as a young kid on how to make sure that you save your money, make sure you have life insurance, make sure you do this, that, and the third? Is that something that you were taught, Nate? Because let's be real, I think Greg and Napoleon, that's something that we were taught as young people, where is to save your money, do this, that, and the third. But as young black kids, we also weren't saving our money probably the way we were supposed to, because we still had to go and spend it on whatever that we need to spend it on, correct? So, and also, I think it's also on us. And Nate, are you saying no, that you weren't taught that? Or are you saying no? If you don't mind, go ahead and help me out with that one. Yeah, thank you, sir. Because again, for us, even though we were taught it, I just feel like, unfortunately, we still went about doing certain things the way that we wanted to do, and that's just, it is what it is. You're young and dumb. You do young and dumb things, right? Until you get older and you realize that probably wasn't the smart thing to do and to go about it. And now that you're older, you're able to change your ways. Or you can still do the same silly and dumb things that you were doing at a 15, 16, 17-year-old, pace, right?
Yeah.
Is there any other generational wealth tips that you gentlemen want to give out to the public before we get up out of here for the night?
You want to read his comment?
Yes, sir, I will. Nate said, honestly, no, I wasn't taught that, but that's why the topic resonates with me, because I'm trying to figure it out now. I'm in my late 20s. Well, like Greg said as well, there are a lot of people out there that help out with learning stocks. I have a friend of mine I was in the military with. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that link in there as well too after the show's over with for you, Nate, that teaches people about investing. There are a lot of people out here that wants to help, and I feel like no matter who you are, and shout out to Nate, I appreciate you, I seriously do. White, black, Hispanic, Asian, I think a lot of us need to seriously shut the fuck up and go out there and learn some shit and put this knowledge that we have out here in the world to work, so we can make some more money, so we can do the things that we want to do, on your leisure time. I know people don't. Greg, do you want to work 80 plus hours a week to try to make ends meet? Or would you rather work, on your own pace because you have your own business and you're able to control your own money? I'm pretty sure that to me is the American dream. Being able to work on your own time, on your own business, on your own facet, that to me is the American dream.
Yeah, definitely being able to have your own and pass it down to your children, possibly, or things of that nature. Or even if you're not turning into an entrepreneur, just getting to the point of I don't need a job, basically, because a lot of people that they own a business, stuff like that, but they still work a job because of medical insurance is a lot more higher when you're on your own and you're actually a full-time entrepreneur, full-time owner. So just having the option of I don't have to work. I can take a break if I want to, or I don't have to go back to work anyway. I just work off the investments and stock market and all that stuff like that. So just having options instead of having just one option of having to work. That's the thing that I want to get to.
Yes, sir. I definitely agree on that, and that's at the end of the day. That is, to me, it's not the suburb home, the white picket fence with two kids and a dog. That to me is not the American dream. That's some 1950s BS that they want to put out there and whatnot. in 2021, the American dream for me as an individual, I'm not even going to speak on my race and like that, but as an American individual, is to be able to have my time and do it the way that I want to do it at any point in time of the day, of the week, of the year, of the month, of the year. When you're able to control your destiny, that to me becomes the American dream.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Well, appreciate everybody for tuning in for tonight. That'll be it for today. We have a quick little show for tonight. Sorry, you guys, for joining in a little late. We will be back on time next week at 9:30. Hey, this is a good episode, gentlemen. I appreciate you guys. We had a lot to talk about, and I appreciate you, gentlemen, for stopping in tonight. And we'll definitely see everybody next week with Kinfolk and them. G Boogie Nap and X. We're out.